Yes, ma'am. We are good to go.
Yes. Wonderful evening for all who have joined. I see that Mary also has joined. So right now we have the inaugural keynote by Dr. Mailswamy Annadurai. And after that, the inauguration ceremony will start. So I would like to welcome every one of you for this great keynote session. Navneeta Krishnan, would you like to introduce the guest, please?
That's my honor. Thank you so much. Respected dignitaries, leaders from various IEEE organization units, partners of IEEE YESIST12, invited guests, steering committee members, volunteers of IEEE YESIST12, and the participants of various tracks of IEEE YESIST12 and their mentors. Good morning. Sorry. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depends on the time zone that you are in. Dr. Mailswamy Annadurai is an Indian aerospace engineer and distinguished scientist who held in numerous positions in Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, including the directorship of the US RAW Satellite Center, formerly ISRO Satellite Center. He has received many awards, including the prestigious Padma Shri Award in 2016, which is one of the highest civilian award in India. Towards his memory lane, his early education began in his village called Kodavadi in Tamil Nadu, India. After this, he completed his bachelor's degree in engineering in electronics and communication in 1980 from Government College of Technology, Coimbatore, India, and master's degree in 1982 from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore, India, and PhD from Anna University of Technology, Coimbatore, India. During his journey in ISRO from 1982, he involved himself in a number of projects, and owing to his hard work, he has been serving in positions such as operations manager, deputy project director, and mission director. He served as program director for India's lunar space probes Chandrayaan-1 and Chandrayaan-2. As a project director of IRS and small satellite systems, he led 5 projects. His work as program director of Mars Orbiter Mission or Mangalyaan received huge applause of successful launch of Mars mission. The Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi, once quoted, "A cost of ₹7 was incurred per kilometer in covering 650 million kilometer distance to Mars by the unmanned spacecraft, which is very cheaper than an auto rickshaw ride in India." So he is the man behind this success. And Dr. Annadurai has been listed among top 100 global thinkers of 2014 and topped the innovators list. He is currently serving as the Vice President of Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, Chairman, Board of Directors of National Design Research Forum, NDRF. Controlling my excitement, I take immense pleasure and pride in welcoming Dr. Mailswamy Annadurai to deliver the inaugural keynote at the IEEE YESIST12-2021 grand inauguration ceremony. The stage is yours, sir.
Thank you, Navneet, and good time. As Navneet told, morning, afternoon, evening, depending upon the time zone, wherever you are there, for this particular event. And I am really thankful to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to share my ideas about how the space systems with respect to sustainable goals point of view, how it's positioned from a ringside view. And probably that may fit into the today's thing, and so that it sets the ball rolling. So without losing much of a time, let me share some of my view graphs. Then I think I can come back to you. Hope you are able to see my view graphs.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Today's topic, what I have taken for this particular audience is considering the youth, to energize them. The work what they do is to have some societal connectivity, That means it should have a purpose and goal. And towards that, how even the space systems also positioned, and the space systems also keep moving. Though it's a space, it is not a fantasy just to go for the moon or something like that. And beyond that, I think a lot more has been done there. So to bring that point here, instead of putting everything, I will say, what I thought is I had an opportunity to work with UNOSA, the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, nearly for 3 years. And there at that point of time, we worked for a theme called Space for SDGs. That means how the space can work for the Sustainable Development Goals point of view. That I think keeping the space as a vantage point, how we can approach this was being talked about. So I thought I can bring in those views here that will be of more of a global view. Now, before coming into that, I think somehow I felt, because as Navneet has told, I started my pristine life in a very, very remote village of India. And wherein to start with, yes, we have very, very rudimentary way of learning, schools, educations, whatnot is there. Of course, when I was in the school, I know Armstrong landed on the moon. Very, very awesomely we have looked at that. But now, just looking back, the human history itself, not only individuals, even the humanity itself, you look at here, the species have keep moving, and yes, some species have come like this. And among them, just one or two was trying to look up into the space, look up the sky. And that made an awesome, and made some sort of inquisitive inquiry. Something query has happened for them. And that pursuit of the thing for the man, as the one, it's made him different from the species. I think these species are, even today, they are moving like this. But the one who tried to dare to look up in the sky and look into the space, and that wondering and trying to understand the things, I think probably that is one of the many reasons which enabled the humanity to grow as a human. And that means it is not only he is deviated from the other existing species in the world, coming as a man, trying to understand, trying to converse, trying to express, and trying to carry forward whatever he learned to the next generation. This sort of a relay race started when he started looking at the sky and trying to feel awe and trying to understand that. And that enabled him to come up and up and up and up. Yes, while doing all these things, slowly when he was graduating himself from other species, among himself, some sort of a differentiation started coming in terms of poverty, in terms of inequalities. Many things happened to that. So towards that, to make the things equal, so that the humanity, what we live is prosperly living, so that human can live in a peaceful world. I think that is to happen. Something is called for. I think that's how the Sustainable Development Goals across the globe people have sat together and arrived at typically 17 numbers of goals. Okay, starting from no poverty should be there, because of rich persons, people have become more and more rich. People have become, they are able to eat more than what they available in their things available. So many things are there, but still there are people with poverty, people with the hunger, people don't have the basic health amenities, people don't have the good education. So many things are happened. General equality, when men and women is not equal everywhere. Okay, so these are all the things are there. So to bring the humanity in a better way, a sustainable development, that means the development of humanity has happened, but to sustain it, we need this 17 points, 17 goals. And that in turn, of course, it's more than nearly 200 or 169 associated specific targets have been identified, such that how no poverty can be removed, how the hunger can be avoided, how good health and well-being can be given to the humanity, quality education across the masses, gender equality we can go. I think very many things have been talked about there. And towards that, when this is being addressed across the globe in various ways, in various departments, various governments, and very things are happening there, what really space can do, I think that's what happened. This is whatever I'm referring there. In the forum in the Vienna, I had the opportunity to chair when the deliberations are going on. how the space for SDGs, that means space for sustainable development goals, what can space can do. I think that's a lot of thinking happened there. And that basically, just I try to enumerate, not everything together. It's a very, very voluminous documents and various committees have looked into that. I had the opportunity to chair the committee of the committees. I think that's how it happened to that. Looking forward and putting forward to the UN committees and further translating that into a recommending into the national space agencies, it happened to that. So like that, look at here, the no poverty point of view, what space really can do, what space being a vantage point, what really it can do. It cannot feed the people directly, but it can enable something to happen so that no poverty across the man. That means forecasting natural disasters. That means when any natural disaster comes, post to that, something happens. Is it possible to avoid that? That means the better the way of disseminating the information, whether that can be done. So another thing is obtaining sustainable utilization of natural resources. Nature, if you look at here across the globe, even across the country also, natural resources are not equally distributable, but space can enable that to happen to across the masses. And towards that mapping of populated area and less populated area, there how we can access the basic services to the people can be given in a better way. That means overall space technology can contribute to the prevention of people falling below the poverty line. Maybe triggered by a pandemic, triggered by a natural disaster, or they are not getting properly educated, properly trained. Many things will be there. But in various ways, I think space can provide a podium wherein the poverty can be removed from the people. That means by helping the target specific support to those who are in need. I think that's possibility of giving is two-thirds of space is possible. How it's happened down the line. Basically, this no poverty, it's happening in the various ways. I think we can do it. And that you look at the next goal of zero hunger. No poverty means hunger also will be less. That means space technologies can be key for optimizing, like looking at the vantage point there. Crop productivity, where across the India, I think we already done it there, and it is happening across the globe also. Its own nations have its own way of looking at the crop productivity through the informed management process, using various sensors sitting in the satellite that can do that. And it can provide the efficiency in which we cultivate, the land usability, the seeds, fertilizer, plant protection agents, and usage of water. Water, in some places plenty of is there, some places very less is there. How effectively we can use the management of that, I think the space can do a reasonably good job keeping that as a vantage point, providing a thing. And similarly, not only the crop, for improving livestock management through the enhanced monitoring and identification of suitable grazing lands, protecting the grazing lands, and as well as possibly trying to identify and give the inputs to the policymakers and the planners where the new grazing lands can come. So that way, it's possible to give both livestock management as well as the crop productivity for the human consumption point of view. So when these things are happening there, definitely we have to have good health and well-being required. Not only feeding the stomach, we should ensure that humanity lives with the good health and well-being. And needless to say, what it can do, that is telemedicine and telehealth, teleepidemiologies. And towards this, definitely space being a vantage point, it can do, not only it has do during this pandemic, definitely it has served its purpose. And it is, very many things has happened during this pandemic time. And that indicates, yes, the space, how we can enable the specialty doctor, super specialty doctor, one place to another place, not able to reach where we can reach, and many things it's possible to do that. And it is not only that directly space being a vantage point, it is also possible to have the spin-off technologies, spin-off technologies, be it manned mission, be it interplanetary missions, for what many things, whatever we do, for this in the space, someone has to travel. For him, definitely many things have to be given in a better way so that safe travel of human is avoided. So that technology is what is been there, it's very well, it can be used here as a spin-off technologies. I think a host of spin-off technologies like vision, cognition, and disability assistances can be used very well for back to this. That means not only the satellite sitting there, whatever we are using for the space technology to come for the various domains, and the spin-off technologies of that can be used in a very effectively here, and it's being used there. And these are all the things is possible to channelize in a way such that across the globe, this is happening there. It is not only very few spacefaring nations to do, it can penetrate across the globe, so that the good health and well-being of the fraternity across the globe, it's happening there. And when that's happening, yes, we cannot leave behind what's happening around us. Not only we are feeding, we are ensuring the health. You could hear the health point of view. Definitely, you know that a good number of youngsters know the ozone layers, and I know very good oration took place in the UN Assembly also, wherein the youngsters are pointing fingers to the today's elders. What you have done, how guts you have asking for like this there. But I think we are not left behind. I think we have definitely a responsible way citizens. We have woken up and we have done nearly 3 to 4 decades back itself, and we are working on that. Just give an example of yes, how a responsible way space is working even today, and possibly that is the one which telling about the ozone layer depletion and how it can be contained, and possibly what is the hope it's going to give in the may not be in the near future, maybe at least a couple of decades from now, what will happen. I think that's the thing we will be able to see in this here. Sorry, my view of now. Sorry, it looks my video is not working here.
Ramnik, can you help?
No, it's somehow its video is not. It's embedded video. It looks it's not coming. Okay, fine. Yeah, basically, what I was trying to tell is this is one of the snapshot picture of the Copernicus. It's trying to tell, indicate how the ozone layer and the South Atlantic is concerned is there. And you know that the space is the one which initially told what's happening in the ozone layer. And now after the United, the good number of countries, 196 countries plus the NGOs put together, when arrived at what can be done, roadmap I put that someone has need to monitor. I think the space is a vantage point, is keep monitoring day in, day out. And that's what happening there. And possibly by 2050 to 2060, probably will able to come back to the original region. That's how this is being done. And this video is supposed to show what happened in 1980 and how it's happening today. And at least last couple of decades, it looks reasonably well, it's maintained. And possibly another 20 years, 30 years from now, probably this may get settled, the issue. So that means there is a responsible way of someone monitoring from the space getting there. And another thing is, yes, people have worked and we are doing it for this point of view. So space playing a role on that. I'm trying to put that, but somehow video would not come. Then another goal is a quality education. I think like health, definitely tele-education can play a major role, wherein it's a country like, for example, India. India is now, huge number of youngsters are coming to the schools. And that means number of the schools, number of classrooms, we have to equip with itself a huge number. We can make infrastructure of the classrooms, but is it possible to have that many number of quality teachers across the nation? It's a question mark. And similar countries, many places are there. So, but there definitely satellites can play a meaningful role. And not only that, reachability, and during this pandemic, it has happened. Last nearly more than a year or so, the students could get connected not only from the schools and colleges and various ways. The connectivity has happened there. Even you and me also now get connected, and the students also now today are watching, thanks to the satellites playing their own role in this point of view. And not only that, as I told here, for the ozone layer monitoring, whether the responsible nations are doing a responsible way that behaving or not. Satellite is monitoring and telling yes what's happening over the globe, over the particular country. What happens, we are able to see. Similarly, I think the electronic attendance monitoring and provision of incentives for parents to reduce dropouts. I think that has happened someplace, I know that, and we are trying to encourage that so that 100% attendance is one of the thing. 100% enrollment is one thing, 100% attendance is another thing. These two things, connectivities, I think satellite can play a very reasonable good role. And beyond that, remote learning, e-learning, and lifelong learning. I think that is another capture. Today, the education is no longer within the schools and colleges alone. Beyond that, definitely somebody has to be relevant to that day, because over the decades, things are keep changing. Lifelong learning is called for that, and even for isolated communities, which many things are not reaching. Definitely, it can do a reasonably good way, and it's keep happening there. And as I told here, UNUSA launched a series of initiatives directly, like space for women, space for youth. I think it fits for the forum what we are talking about here. And that means space for women, how it can be there, space for youth. That means their contribution also can come equally. I think that is another thing. And beyond that, I think when I was there, we initiated a program called UNITY, that is United Nations Nano Satellite Technology Intervention by ISRO, for the nations which don't have the space accessibility today. For them, how to make the nano satellite, how they launch, how to operate, so that the initial push can be given to them, and finally that can happen there. The similar thing is happened in and Japan fellowship program and the nano satellite technologies. And that is the way the education point of view, either the class, starting from the school and as well as higher education, continued education, and even up to the space related studies. I think the good number of ways space is providing a very, very responsible way, and what is to be done we discussed, and what's happening I am putting it here there. So now, having told that, now it comes to the next sustainable goal being the or gender equality. I think needless to say, now I think I'm seeing IEEE is being leadership is already there with good equal opportunities. Already it's demonstrating it there, and the space also doing reasonably well. And towards that, one is space doing its as a tool. It provides can support access to quality education even in remote and isolated communities. The gender equality probably is okay for the cities and affluent community, but there are the communities where it's not reachable. Okay, and even for that, satellite can give hand so that they get along with the main community. And support for the female entrepreneurship through access to training, soft infrastructure, information and safety in the network environment. I think this is being a part and parcel of today's learning point of view. It's happening beyond the schools and colleges. And similarly, career development opportunities often within the STEM. And equal opportunity national programs. I think it is a thing, and Navneet told about mission Mangalyaan, that is our mission, Mars orbiter mission, and that is been symbolized in India. How good equally the women force are part and parcel of such an allied program in the space in India. It has been demonstrated very well. That means space is showing the way how the gender equality can be there, one, and space is extending its help how the gender equality can be there across the globe. It's happening there. And similarly, you look at the next thing is a clean water and sanitation point of view. And yes, satellite being a vantage point, its sensors can help water quality monitoring, that is for a drinking water point of view, the ponds, things like that. Similarly, meteorological forecasting, and that means the storage is concerned, how the water management has to be done. For that point of view, meteorological forecasting helps for the policymakers. Already, it's a part and parcel of the drinking water management system in very good number of government agencies. It's happening there. And that when the satellite data, meteorological data, the forecast, it enables how to manage the water management is concerned. It's happening there. And access to infrastructural support and technical know-how, that in case of a problem, how we will able to get the water, how we can save the water, how we can protect things. I think it's there. And this specific thing is we are advocated to have a portal called Space for Water, such that whatever the technologies available in particular country, what they have done using the satellite technology, other thing, is it possible to give another country? Because say satellites goes across the globe. So even if the one country which has launched the satellite, beyond that it sees other countries also. So it can help, the same technology can be given to the other country which is needed, which may not be having a space assets today. And towards that, we enabled a Space for Water portal. Okay, and that's the one thing which is sustainable development goal of 6 to cover the space point of view. Similarly, affordable clean energy and the space technologies are centered in the critical infrastructure monitoring, particularly with regards to the energy networks, being solar or the wind energy systems, something like that. Definitely it enables, and we can effectively use for the power grid synchronization. IEEE forum, I need not say about that. Power grid synchronization point of view, the satellites, both communication and navigation satellites, the timings, things will help in a much better way. And optimal sites for the production of the renewable energy, I think it's already being in a place for the windmills as well as solar energy point of view. While when the solar and wind energy hybrid systems are keep coming there, and the production forecasting to estimate the amount of energy that needed from other sources, such that the country is kept affordable and clean energy is given there, and it calls for one is to set up the things and regularly monitoring and giving the forecasting thing. And then while doing all these things, humanity, for the sustainable development of the humanity is concerned, decent work and economic growth is called for the individuals, and the space technologies can support for this, and what's happening across the globe, and how it can be done there, and especially at this point of time in the pandemic. And you know that a good number of workplace have been dislocated. When that happens, people have gone to the village, their own places, they have gone there. So, but still, he can be originally the work environment was the people who are together. Now it's all isolated places. There are lone workers. They are monitoring and establishing safe and secure working environment for them. I think the satellites are providing a reasonably good thing there. By gaining access to the space technologies, developing countries can achieve. This is how we in the Space Forum we have thought out, because we know that what's happened in India, how the space has helped for its own development, and definitely this lessons can go for the other developing countries can achieve rate of gross domestic production somewhere around 7% or more possible, along with the higher levels of economic productivity through diversification, technological upgradation with the innovation. I think that's required. That means the masses needs to be trained properly, masses need to be informed properly, and the technology has to be made to penetrate to the places where it is not available today, but it can be made affordable, starting from agriculture to the education. I think is health, very many things, even the production, manufacturing, very many things. I think it can be done. Aviation industry, very many ways. An effective way of doing the things is possible to do that. So while doing that, we will able to provide a decent work and economic growth, decent work for the individual, and that in turn gives an economic growth for the country. And that I think it's possible to provide. Similarly, in the same lines it comes, in the same lines for the development goal of 9, but this industry innovation infrastructure. That means the space technologies play a key role. Infrastructure mapping and monitoring. Today, India is been identified nearly 100 smart cities newly being identified there. So for that, the satellite cartography and the satellite resource mapping and the satellite imageries are used very well, okay, to make the infrastructures in a better way, and constructing surveying through the machine automations, many things point of view. That means today's smart cities backbone is basically the Indian satellites playing a major role. And that I think across the globe, the cities to become more smart, so that the dwelling of the habitates becoming more smart, and definitely this can play a reasonably good meaningful role. The space as a vantage point. And similarly, smart mobility. That means when you are moving one place to another, starting from what is the weather condition of that place, you have to know. And similarly, even the aviation, gone are the days the aviation, they have to touch upon the radar monitoring stations have to pass through that. That means they will not be able to pass through in a crow flying condition, especially a country like India, not possible originally. But now, today, with the navigation satellites being available, they are able to fly from, for example, Chennai to Delhi, I think almost direct to be able to go, which was not the case a couple of years back. Okay, that means reduced fuel consumption by smarter planning and monitoring of the driving behavior. I think this was able to do it there. Not only that, even for the road infrastructure, costlier equipments being transmitted there. And today, our NAVIC satellites are able to monitor, and the person who was fleet owner is able to monitor from his sitting place. He is able to see how the things are moving. So like that, from the road travel to the air travel, similarly, the fishermen will keep moving there. And this innovative infrastructures, satellite sitting there, and it's able to help them in a very, very better way. That way, the industry, innovation, infrastructure point of view, and now starting from the smart cities, new cities, to the way in which you travel, very many ways, this space is helping in a better way. Then comes the reduced inequalities. Reduced inequalities in the way, one point is geographically. You look at here geographically. You look at some of the places like capital cities could have been much well equipped, and well thought about plannings can be there, but it may not be there in some other places. But how to overcome this? I think again the satellite, the way in which it's connecting to the remote isolated areas will enable them to do that. For example, today you look at in the cosmopolitan cities in India, there are a lot of IT infrastructure available. That is information technology infrastructure. A good number of youth have to come down there and start working. But today, already we have proven, and the people have dislocated their own villages back. But today, so using the satellite technology, they got connected and they work. That means, irrespective of their place of dwelling, they are able to get connected in much better way. Then over and above that, even reliable access information. Even the countries like India, definitely it's called upon. Any democratic process happening there, the access to information to all the people, it's very much really required there. So towards that, easy access to space for all, I think that is the one helps today people to work from home, irrespective of wherever they are able to help there. So, and this can penetrate across the globe and enabling reduced inequalities among the masses. Similarly, sustainable cities and communities. When what all we told here, now you put the things together as I told there, urban planning, pinpointing structures, reference points, whatever already told there, smart cities, through application of global navigation satellite system, earth observation system, satellite communication, things put together, we have the very good model of how smart cities can be built and how smart cities can be maintained, how the cities can be smart enough so that the people living there will be able to enjoy a reasonably good living standard can be improved upon. And towards that, these satellites helping in various ways. The city service such as smart waste management. I think gone are the days where the garbages are littering across the city. Now I think we are able to control reasonably well using the satellite infrastructure, and accordingly the air quality monitoring we are able to disaster management. Something happened disaster, and how we are able to access that and such that the city is not disturbed too much of a time. Something in the blood or whatever it is happening, and satellite technology helps there. Similarly, as you took here, not only the infrastructure to build, the infrastructure monitoring, also it's happening there. Then search and rescue operations, it's helping in a better way. That way, sustainable cities and communities, when the people are getting crowded, more and more crowded, you need more and more smart systems to monitor and do the effective management of the issues. One is not to happen, avoid. Another one is in case it happened, how to intervene. I think the satellite technologies not only can have helped in India, and that definitely it can penetrate into the various reasons. Similarly, when we do all the things, we have to have a responsible consumption and production. I think that's what it's called for. And that means that this onus is on the people who have more available to consume and more they can produce. I think that's the thing it is there. That means one of the thing is natural resource management. That means there are the places where have a lot of resources available, natural resources, but it has to be managed properly. Then it's possible. It can be food, it can be minerals, it can be water, whatever it is. And these things point of view, definitely satellites can do in a reasonably good way. And one of the things is smart agriculture by combining earth observation, satellite telecommunication, and these things. And beyond all these things, needless to say.
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir. We're exceeding the time.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah.
Thank you, sure.
Yeah. And while doing, definitely space is showing the way. That means already you look at here, you know, the 93% of water on board the International Space Station is reclaimed. 40% of the oxygen is recycled. Current researchers are increasing the rate to be about 75%. That means it's already showing the way how to do it also. Similarly, for the climate action, definitely we have the meteorological satellites, other global monitoring satellites are available. In terms of climate change monitoring, weather forecasting, disaster management, many things that it's happening there. Similarly, space technology support for the life below the water, also looking for the status of the ocean and the water bodies. It can do a reasonably good thing. Climate change monitoring, these things, identification, algal blooms, it's happening. Similarly, development of whole life on land. Very many things it can be done there. And one of the example is a forest fire warning. It's across the globe, many places happening there. Early warning satellites will be able to provide, and that can be mitigated in a better way. Similarly, peace, justice, and strong institutions. I think towards that, satellites can play reasonably well role. And not only that way, and even the space itself, it called for, the space is now getting crowded more and more there. Definitely, we have to maintain the peace in the space also. And we have the strong institution and justice and institutions called upon. And towards that, our space is already showing the way how responsible countries are registering their objects launched into the space, outer space. And similarly, there is a committee on the peaceful use of outer space, COPAS. This is what I initially was offering. This is ensuring nearly more than 170 countries are part and parcel of that. This happening. So space is playing the reasonably good. While doing all these things, definitely partnership for the goals. That's what the main theme of the whole thing. So that some country is doing, some other country is lacking, and this partnership will be able to do it in a much better way. The international cooperation initiatives in the space is showing its own way of how it can be done. And ISRO, definitely, it started a very, very, very modest way. And basically, it's meant for the driven self-reliant program supporting national development goals. And that's how it's moved there, using this sort of 5 class, 6 classes of satellites: remote sensing, communication, meteorological, navigation, and science. And we have this many assets, space assets, in terms of so many communication satellites, so many Earth observation satellites, so many navigation satellites, and space science missions also. And the capabilities of the missions already keep improving. And it can see any point of the globe. I think it's possible to see a much better thing. This can be utilized in much better way. That means whatever I told monitoring, what are the resolutions it's possible, and even the smaller 25 centimeter resolution things can be seen in much better way. That can be used for various purposes point of view. That's what I was trying to refer here. And this, again, as I told here, this what all I told is relying on the sun illumination. That now we are working along with NASA, a joint mission, wherein using this is called the global mission, monitoring solid earth ecosystem structure, dynamics of ice and coastal region. NASA JPL and ISRO collaborative mission. It is having a nearly 12-meter unfurlable antenna. It gives a day and night watch using a synthetic aperture radar. This, I think, it's already what is happening within India, that for tele-education, telemedicine point of view, a good number of professors and teachers getting connected, as well as super specialty hospitals getting connected across the thing. And similarly, the fisherman who is going into the sea, and he has been given in his own handheld system potential fishing zone advisory, high wave alert, strong wind alert, cyclone warning, tsunami warning. This is connecting our own satellite data being fused here, and the information fed into another communication satellite, reaching to him in a handheld system. And that's how it's being given to the fisherman, which was not available elsewhere. I think now we are able to do in a much better way today, thanks to the satellite sitting there. Yeah, this is another weather monitoring. The two satellites, how they do nearly once in 15 minutes. The whole globe is being taken there. Each mission takes half an hour, but by skewing the operations of the two satellites inside 3D and inside 3DR, this part of the globe, I think we are able to do reasonably well weather forecasting, early warning of storms, other things we are able to predict much better way. Today, satellites are able to do things. So that this shows the evolution of how ISRO is about 1960 setting it start with the USSR, USSA, France. With their help, I think definitely ISRO's space program started. Slowly graduated for self-sustained way. Now I think ISRO is poised and able to work with the partnership with the good number of other countries for launching their satellites and providing the data to the others. Various point of it's happening there. So that way today you look at here for the partnership for the goals point of view. I think we have good number of areas of remote sensing, SATCAM, SatNav, very many things, exploration, space launch, capacity building. Very many ways. We are nearly 240 agreements with the 58 countries and 55 multinational bodies. We have the things that way. The partnership for the goals definitely it's happening in a better way. And this source in listing of good number of spin-off technologies. Not only the space providing that, and while doing that, good number of technologies starting from solar cell. I think very many communication systems, CT scan, many things. Whatever happened for the space travel is helping back to the in terms of communication, in terms of energy things, in terms of the lightweight systems, in terms of the new communication protocols, in terms of the laser technologies. Very many things, very many mobilities point of view. Even for the air travel, you talk about jet propulsion. That is basically a requirement why I would go to the space. So this way put together, both space as a vantage point as well as the spin-off technology, which enabled manners to go there, more into the spaces, is helping back to the man here. And that by a proper partnership, and that way if you go, a sustainable development goals of all the 17 with more than nearly 200 targeted goals, I think reasonably well space is doing its job. To sum it up, and this partnership is not only among the nations and it's happening private and public partnership also. You know that already space travel is taken care by good number of private industries have come. That means it's enabling putting the things together. Space provides a thing which is really a hallmark of the sustainable development for the humanity, which is nothing but a leadership, hope, prosperity, and generosity. I think this way, definitely spacefaring nations are doing reasonably well, and the penetration of this four pillars will enable the very great sustainable development goals to meet and the humanity to sustain its developments further and further. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful words about space science, sustainable goal, and for giving us the clear picture in understanding the growth of humanity in science technologies. It is indeed a pleasure to have you here, sir. Thank you. Well, we or IEEE YESIST12 is back with the International Talent Show to showcase the prestige leads of the young minds across the world who have brought themselves to find the keywords towards the society. Next, we'll move on to the innovation.
Pooja, are you able to hear the audio?
No, can you please speak?
Yeah, 1 second. I'm sorry for the interruption. Just 1 second. Yeah. Pooja, let me know if you are able to hear now.
Sure.
Are you able to? Yeah, are you able to hear?
No.
No? Okay. Ramlata ma'am, shall we go ahead then? Yeah, okay.
A single spark of the light is not enough to defeat an army of darkness. Begin with this wonderful movement with the traditional auspicious lightning ceremony. We would like to welcome Ms. Susan Cathy Land to light the virtual lamp. Over to you, ma'am.
So I'm going to light the virtual lamp.
Yes.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you, Kirti.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide where you are right now. To welcome the eminent person, respected dignitaries, keynote speakers, and other members, we request Dr. Nitya ma'am, who is the Publicity Chair of IEEE YESIST12 and the Chair of IEEE Madras Women in Engineering, to deliver the welcome note. Over to you, Nitya ma'am.
Pooja, you could hear me, right?
Yes, ma'am. Perfect.
Yeah. So I thank every dignitaries for giving me this opportunity in welcoming all the great personalities present in this warm evening. So first of all, I welcome the organizing secretary and the sole person involved who have been with us till the start to the end of the meeting, Ramlata Marimuthu ma'am. So I welcome you, ma'am. First and foremost, I welcome Mailsami Annadhuri sir. So he's a Padma Shri and a former director of ISRO Satellite Center. And I'm so auspicious to welcome Susan Cathy Land ma'am. She is 2021 IEEE president and CEO and an IEEE fellow member. I welcome you, ma'am. And then I welcome Mary Ellen Randall, who is the founder and the CEO of Ascot Technologies Inc. And I would like to welcome Bozana ma'am. She's a professor and in the Department of Mathematics at University. And I would like to welcome Sakfil Islam sir, and he is the Director, Finance and Admin and Joint Secretary, Bangladesh. I welcome you, sir. And I would like to welcome Deepak Mathur sir, who is with us from the start as an advisory member. And he's the IEEE Region 10 Asia Pacific Director 2021-2022. And I would like to welcome all the dignitaries, like the track chairs are present and track co-chairs are present, and with us all the members and team members are with us. And at last, not least, we have our volunteers who have been with us in all the parts of supporting us. And I would like to welcome all the sponsors who have been helping us in all the organization of this event. And I would like to welcome Ramik, Ashwin, Aishwarya, who had been from starting with us in conducting this event, and Tasnim, Navinda Krishnan sir, and so much people in the list. We are waiting here. And I would like to welcome all the participants who have been registered and awaiting the final round. So welcome you. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the welcome note. History doesn't change the past, but likely the future. Now we request our Ramalata ma'am to deliver the YESIST12 journey from the past. Ms. Ramalata Marimuthu is the chairperson, General Chair of IEEE YESIST12. With 35 years of experience, ma'am has been the most optimistic person, and she has been the icon of inspiration to the many young women, holding various roles of responsibility such as Secretary of IEEE Computer Society, Board of Governance IEEE Computer Society, EAB representative to IEEE Conference Committee, and Chair of IEEE Women Engineering Committee. She's been guiding and mentoring young women. So I request Ms. Ramalata Marimuthu to share our IEEE journey.
Thank you very much, Bharati. I would like to first welcome every one of you who have kindly accepted our invitation to be here with us for the inauguration of this YESIST12. This YESIST12 is a very, very special talent show, I would say, because it was started in a very small way with just 2 countries participating in 2013, just as a kind of a small, I would say, a small seed. And now it has grown into a very big tree, giving opportunities for thousands and thousands of people all over the world. So this is a kind of international talent show organized by the Madras IEEE Education Society chapter for the past 6 years. This is the 6th edition, and this year we have partners from Madras IEEE, from the Women in Engineering, SSIT, Young Professionals, and also the Education Society. The most important thing here is the challenge is to recognize the best social innovation application under the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, on which Dr. Mailswamy Annadurai sir was speaking for the past half an hour. So everyone understands that the Sustainable Development Goals is metric for us to work on, so that we will be able to contribute our part towards developing the community and developing the world into a world in which we can have the best quality of life. A quality of life cannot be measured into a single aspect, but it has hundreds of aspects. And the United Nations has just consolidated it into 17 different goals. So these aspects guide us how we can improve the world through technology. And improving the world through technology cannot be done only by the experienced scientists and technologists alone, unless we nurture the young minds to bring this technology, whatever they are learning, into a stage where everyone would be benefited by their learning. The students, as well as the young professionals who are working with technology, they have to understand that whatever they are doing, they are responsible for making it into a journey towards helping the society, their community, with the help of that technology. And unless otherwise they plan it ahead when they are even small children, it will not be a kind of pathway for life. I believe that engineering is a pathway for us to bring our dreams into a truth, and dreams into a happening. Without that, it is impossible for us to show that we are engineers. And we have been just nurturing the young, talented innovators from all walks of life to bring their innovations into a competition, so that at least we will be having a kind of sharing of knowledge. And this platform provides an excellent opportunity for them to get ideas from international participants. For the first year, in 2013, we just had 2 countries participating. And in 2016, when we revived it with the Maker Faire as well as the Innovation Challenge, we had 4 countries participating. And I'm very, very happy to say, though we are in a virtual mode this year we are having more than 30 countries from all over the world participating. And the number of universities also are increasing by leaps and bounds. In 2016, we had around 20 universities participating. And in 2020, we had around 70 universities. Though it was a virtual one, actually we had a rundown. But this year again, we had reached the height that we already reached. 90 universities from all over the world are participating. The reason why I'm giving you all the statistics is that we want more and more of innovators to come forward to bring their fresh ideas, pristine ideas into a working model. And not only the model, but we want them to become entrepreneurs and actually bring this project into a product, so that the community will really will be reached with that product. And I'm very happy to say that for the past 5 editions, we have been tracing and following how our people are doing. And I'm very proud that at least 2 or 3 entrepreneurs have started from every year from 2016. Either they incubate or sell their product, commercialize it, or even have a startup of their own. So in that way, I believe that we are really nurturing the students from the school children, because one of the tracks here is for school children and all the other tracks are for the graduates and undergraduates. Anybody who has an innovative mind can participate here. So that kind of freedom is given to the people. They can participate with anybody. They can connect with anybody. We don't actually put a stop for them to connect and collaborate with different countries. They can even be collaborators from different countries and bring out a product. We encourage that. So I believe that all the support that has been given to me by IEEE and our partners to make this into a true collaboration platform for all these people have really given out a wonderful and also eventful finals today and tomorrow. And we are hoping to have the emerging winners also present their findings and their innovations during the Region 10 Humanitarian Technology Conference on October 1st. So I would like to welcome you all here, and also I would like to I would like to ask you to share your wonderful, inspiring knowledge to our participants. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for wonderfully sharing about IEEE YESIST12. Innovation is what seeing everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. With this quote before, I would like to welcome Ms. Susan Cathy Lang, IEEE President and CEO and IEEE Fellow, an expert with 30 years of industrial experience in the application of software engineering methodology, the management of information system, and the leadership of software development teams. With long-lasting history with IEEE, Ms. Susan Cathy has taken up various roles and responsibilities in paving the path for the young generation and has the icon of inspiration. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I want to make sure I'm audible.
Yes, you are, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much. I want to first begin by applauding your efforts in establishing this international platform to encourage service-oriented engineering practices, and to thank you for inviting me to participate. I'm hopeful that this event and future celebrations will continue to help bring increased awareness of the significant role played by engineering and technical professionals in today's society, and in the overall economic, social, and development activities of countries around the world. I truly believe that one of the most important applications of technology is when it's used to improve people's lives. The continuing COVID-19 pandemic has certainly demonstrated the impact that professional engineers and technologists have had on society. We have witnessed amazing engineering developments and important medical and technological breakthroughs. Technological innovation is the principal driver for improvements in quality of life, economic prosperity, and professions of engineering and technology are central to this innovation. Technology can be used to solve important problems and provide solutions to such life-altering issues such as clean water, reliable energy, food production, healthcare, and education. IEEE's core purpose is to foster technological innovation and excellence for the benefit of humanity. And part of our shared vision is to be universally recognized for the contributions of technology and of technical professionals in improving global conditions. IEEE humanitarian activities directly contributes to this in so many ways. To some people, being an IEEE member and volunteer means coordinating a conference. To others, it might mean chairing a standards working group. But to many individuals, when they're IEEE members, it means that they want to show the world the boots on the ground vision of IEEE's mission of advancing technology for the benefit of humanity through our humanitarian activities. And that's what being an IEEE member means to them. One of the ways our members do this is by helping the global community to understand how technology can be used to solve important problems and how it might be used to provide solutions to such life-altering issues by providing communities with clean water, reliable energy, better food production, efficient healthcare, disaster relief, and better education. Every day, we as engineers and technologists have the opportunity to engage in efforts to change the world for the better and improve the way that people communicate, work, travel, stay healthy, and entertain themselves. Technological innovation is the principal driver for improvements in the quality of life. Economic prosperity and professions in engineering and technology are central to this innovation. For those of us who create technology and who love how technologies empower us and improve our lives, this is why we support IEEE. The mission and vision of IEEE helps us shape the future of technology for the benefit of humanity. IEEE members around the globe are continuously exploring and applying technology to help solve the world's most challenging problems. It is that universal passion to use technology to improve global conditions that is at the heart of IEEE's significant humanitarian activities and our expanding partnerships in the realm of sustainable development. There's a lot of excitement around information and communications technologies, or ICTs, and other innovations as valuable tools for achieving so many of the UN's Sustainability Development Goals, including offsetting poverty and hunger and promoting clean water and sanitation, climate action, affordable and clean energy, human well-being, economic growth, and responsible consumption and production. With more than 400,000 members in over 160 countries, IEEE is the leading authority in ICTs and virtually every other technology area touching sustainable development. In recent years, IEEE has placed greater emphasis on human technical activities. IEEE works across multiple fronts to advance sustainable development and ensure that we are succeeding in our mission to advance technology for the benefit of humanity. For example, the IEEE Humanitarian Activities Committee, or HAC, HAC, provides a suite of resources that inspire and enable IEEE volunteers around the world to carry out and support impactful humanitarian development activities. HAC focuses on raising awareness of how technically trained people can contribute by providing training for engagement in humanitarian technology and sustainable development activities, financially and technically supporting and evaluating projects, and cultivating relationships and opportunities so that IEEE can become a leader in the global sustainable development community. The IEEE Smart Village is another IEEE initiative that encourages development in energy-impoverished communities around the world. IEEE Smart Village provides technical and financial support to local entrepreneurs who expand both energy access and education to remote communities. The program combines the talent of empowered beneficiaries with IEEE volunteers, both playing an active role doing hands-on work within local communities. You can look up more information about Smart Villages on the IEEE website. I recommend you do that. IEEE recently received consultant status with the United Nations Economic and Social Council, or ECOSOC. This special status is granted to non-governmental organizations, or NGOs, which have a special competence in and are specially concerned with some of the fields of actively covered areas by ECOSOC. This approval recognizes IEEE's contributions to date to sustainable development and humanitarian technology and to supporting the achievement of the UN's SDGs. This status enables IEEE to more closely participate in the work of the United Nations, to attend international conferences and events, make written and oral statements at these events, organize side events, enter United Nations premises, and have opportunities to network and lobby. This partnership will also provide a strategically important opportunity to significantly increase the impact of IEEE's contributions going forward. Through IEEE's diverse programs, there are many opportunities to make a contribution, big or small, to improving the human condition worldwide. Together, the strength and reach of the IEEE network can be leveraged to make a difference. Together, the strength and reach of IEEE, you as a member and volunteer can leverage this. Go to the website, look up the humanitarian activities, figure out how you can get involved. Every day, we as engineers and technologists have the opportunity to engage, to change the world for the better, to improve the way that people communicate, work, travel, stay healthy. And I'd like to share a call to action to all our members, particularly our student members and young professionals, as you are the future of IEEE. Important innovations are on the horizon in a host of fields, including energy, medicine, transportation, robotics, and artificial intelligence. And these are just a few of the areas. And engineering and technical professionals will play a key role in inventing the technologies of the 21st century. For those in underserved regions of the world, technology saves lives, alleviates suffering, and helps maintain human dignity. In all regions of the world, it improves the quality of life. As a person who believes in the power of technology to benefit humanity, I find this to be a very compelling vision for our shared future. Together, we must work together to develop and apply technology to solve the world's most challenging problems. The challenges and changes we have witnessed in local communities across nations and around the world confirm that the work of professional engineers, technologists, educators, young professionals, and students preparing for technical careers will continue to be in high demand and have a great impact. I applaud all of your efforts to find solutions to humanitarian and social issues directly affecting your communities. And as I mentioned earlier, congratulations on this great event. There's a way to support the efforts or to find out how you can help, and you can visit, I mentioned the IEEE website, go to IEEE.org/doing-good, or you can just go and do a search on the website if you want to find out more information about getting involved. And thank you so much for your time and attention today and for inviting me to participate.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that thought-provoking and informative session. We are too proud and happy to have you here, ma'am. Kindly accept our e-momentum as a token of our gratitude, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Well, moving on the agenda. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. I take pride in welcoming Mary Ellen Radin, founder and CEO of Ascot Technologies and an IEEE Fellow. With various roles of responsibilities in IEEE, including the past Vice President of Member and Geographic Activities 2017, chaired IEEE USA Move program. It's our honor to have you here, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and I hope you can hear me okay.
Yes, ma'am, you're crystal clear.
Very good. So I'll get ready here and share my slides.
Yes, ma'am.
So I enjoyed what President Land had to say, and I think it's important that all of the folks here, and especially young people, realize that IEEE is a lifelong partner in our journey. And so this particular program called MOVE has people of many ages involved in it. And it's very exciting to see even older and retired folks engaged in activity around our community. So it's it's a pleasure to be able to speak with you today. MOVE Community Outreach started a little over 5 years ago when we designed and developed and took possession of the truck, which is shown in this particular picture. And it started as an IEEE USA initiative, but it's grown since then. And the reason that it started is we wanted to engage our members in something that was really meaningful. And we were watching disasters all around the world. And some folks like myself knew I couldn't get to those areas to help. But then we realized we had disasters right near us. And was there something we could do to help with that? And so a group of us proposed developing a communications vehicle and responding to natural disasters when they occur. And as a result, we have an award-winning program, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner. And we are now in our 5th year. March 2021 was our 5th year anniversary for actually deploying and responding to disasters. So what we envisioned when we started, and again, this was nothing when we started, just an idea, but that we would try to serve disaster survivors who got through the initial catastrophe, which in our case, we respond to wildfires, to floods, to hurricanes, which often create floods, and also have significant wind damage, similar to a cyclone, and also to tornadoes, which also flatten buildings and cause severe damage. So it's a mobile outreach vehicle is what we use to help us deliver the services, but it's really the IEEE volunteers who put a lot of time into it and effort into it, who bring consolation and hope to the communities that they serve. So it is an IEEE project. We started with having a physical symbol of what we do, which is the vehicle. But again, it's really our people that provide the relief. And so we focus on communications, which are often impacted severely after a natural disaster, and light and power, which are needed to deliver communications and other services in support of the victims. So we're not first responders. We don't, go into the buildings and pull people out or something like that. But we provide the service for our primary partner, which is the American Red Cross, and their mission is to relieve human suffering. So if there is a highly flooded area and many people are impacted and so on, we help with all the technological and IEEE fields of interest area, IT, different things like that. We help with all of those needs that they have. And they love that we come in because we have, as you know, very skilled people in IEEE. But it really energizes our volunteer base. It highlights what we bring to the community. There's nothing better than helping someone who is at a very low point of their life and maybe lost everything. And this can help them to get back on the road to recovery. So, and many people are not aware that IEEE develops these technologies or supports these technologies and so on. So we've been to 22 natural disasters, and we have a team leaving tomorrow to go respond to Hurricane Nicholas, which went right on top of another hurricane in the southern Gulf area of the United States. And so there's a lot of people who are in need in that regard. So we'll go to 23 tomorrow. But this year we've been to 4. And we are expanding internationally. So I'll let you know a little bit about that. In India is where we're expanding to. And unexpectedly, we got a donation from Cisco Systems, which is this truck on the bottom right-hand side. Is a beautiful vehicle, and we are, outfitting it so that we can have 2 vehicles on the road and twice the responsiveness that we have today. So this just illustrates what happens in a natural disaster. In the US, and each of these programs has to be customized to the country and the organizations that operate there. So you can guess that's a challenge, but it's also a really interesting problem to solve. In the United States, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which is on the left, their vehicle, they are in charge of the overall response. And then they have partners in it, the American Red Cross in the middle here, and then IEEE. So you can see they'll have many, many partners involved in the response, and the partners have certain roles that they play. Some of them feed the hungry, some of them try to provide sheltering, other services, and so on. So it's a coordinated effort, and we fall right in line with that when we respond. So with one truck, you know, people have asked, you know, how much can you do with one truck? Well, we've been to 20 states in the United States, including Puerto Rico. Our volunteers responded there, which is an island. And we have, as I mentioned, we've been to hurricanes, floods, winds, and wildfires. So all these different conditions create loss of power, loss of communications, people who need services. And it's amazing how we all rely on the internet now to report what is going on everywhere. And if that's not available, you know, it's very hard to get the help where it's needed. So we as IEEE members play a vital role in responding to that. So this is very exciting, I think. We are now expanding internationally. We had to prove that IEEE could do this kind of work. It was something very different from anything else we've ever done. It's an ongoing program. It requires a lot of volunteers to do it. It's spread over a large geography and so on. So we do the disaster relief. We had proved it with the first truck, and we have a successful record in that, thankfully. And we also do STEM educational outreach, especially in non-COVID times. So we would go to science festivals, schools, different venues like that, and we would provide educational information about what we do in IEEE. We would show folks how we use the truck to respond, what kind of conditions we respond to, what we're able to provide, et cetera. But then in November of last year, the board of directors of IEEE approved that we could expand elsewhere in the US. Then we found that there was significant member interest in doing this. And as I mentioned, you have to have partners in different parts of the world. So you have to work with the other agencies that respond and find the niche that works best for our skill set. So I'm happy to tell you that India is the area where we are expanding into, and the India Council is in charge of that effort. We're also expanding into these islands in the Caribbean where when they get hit by one of these disasters, their communications are completely wiped out. And so we are going to use a different approach than the truck in those islands, and hopefully we can assist with that. And we're engaging with the partners there and so on. So the vehicles that you saw in my original picture will look a little different in India. They'll be customized to what our members believe are the needs in that area. And so it's very exciting to see it all coming together. The India Council has assembled a tremendously talented leadership team and other volunteers who are going to help with this effort. So there will be a local meaning all of India, but a local organization in India that will handle all these aspects of the program. It is comprehensive. We do, as I said, STEM operations as well as deployment at disasters and so on. And so it involves a lot of interaction with others in order to make it work. And then all of these groups that are providing local, and again, local, I mean that in a big way, but local disaster response will combine into an international committee where we will share skills, tools, experience, and processes. And that is going to take us one step closer to serving humanity even better. So I'd just like to mention that we have many sponsors. The program is set up so that you know, we are funded primarily by donations, and a lot of these are IEEE societies that you may recognize or you may be a part of. But we also have sponsors, business sponsors as well, and things like that. Individual sponsors, the volunteers put a lot of time and effort into it, as well as contributions. So it's very exciting, and I like to recognize our sponsors whenever I have the opportunity. So the program is moving along very quickly. Our volunteers and our sponsors, we're very grateful to them. And if you would like more detailed information on what we've done, the town hall is kind of a historical view of it, and that we did in March when we hit the 5-year anniversary. We'd be happy to have you learn more about that. I have the USA program here. We are preparing the international website, which will be out shortly, and that will be linked to from back and forth between all the different MOVE installations. So thank you so much for having me. I love speaking with young people. It gives me hope for the future. And it's a wonderful program that you have here today. So thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an amazing session and for sharing so briefly about IEEE MOVE. We are proud and happy to have you here. Kindly accept our e-memento as a token of gratitude on behalf of our IEEE YESIST12 team. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, and it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Now, let's move on to the next. We would like to request Dr. Mailasamy Inauguration to accept our felicitation and share a few thoughts.
Yeah. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and again giving me an opportunity to come on second time for this felicitation after giving the keynote address. And definitely, I think the last 1 hour or so, when I'm being a part of this YESIST2, definitely I could join the other two speakers, honorable speakers, who congratulated the organizers for making this particular event at this point of time. And again, while going through these proceedings, I could see a lot of opportunities available for the youngsters. And not only that, how this is too has triggered their ignites. Just looking at some of the questions when I was making a presentation, people are asking itself, showing a good innovative way of people are thinking. And that, I think, that itself can be taken as a seed for innovation for the subsequent years. For someone asked, is it possible to have an online STEM program for in satellite making, rocket making? I think it's possible. I think why can't? Definitely, I think we can do. And to be frank, I think 2 years back, I have done a program wherein the school students, government school student, very, very underprivileged government school students, 12 numbers from Tamil Nadu, remaining 12 numbers across other states of Tamil Nadu, brought them together, and each school students of around 10-member group made a small satellite. But that didn't fly into the space, but we made a simulated flying into the space, taking into a helium filled balloon and taking it to the somewhere around 30,000-40,000 meters height. And after that, it will explode, because naturally, because natural thing, the pressure inside is more and outside, it explodes. And that it made to land. I think before Chandrayaan-2 landing Vikram, I think the school students made their satellites of 24 number small satellites coming down near Kanjipuram. It landed, making the students once given the opportunity, definitely they can do. And whatever the questions you're asking, I think definitely you have innovative mind. Definitely you can do better things. And the IEEE along with giving the podium of YESIST12, and I could understand this is there is a saying in Tamil, ஒரு பான சொத்துக்கு ஒரு சோறு பதம். That means in a vessel full of our rice meal, Just one, if you take that, you can understand whether it's cooked or not. I think the last 1 hour is good enough for me to understand the enough has been fed to the people. And I could see, as especially as rightly told, the youngsters to the elders, the part and parcel of this itself shows the innovation. There is no border. Innovation, there is no limit for that time. And it is basically the innovation is the way of life. And that I think if you take it, there is no time limit, there is no age limit, there is no border. And I think we can innovate as engineers. I think engineers have that opportunity, and making your life meaningful and ensuring your effort are meaningful to the useful to the others. I think that way, more than the money, your brain, your efforts, how we can connect to the needy humanity is concerned. I think that way we are all positioned in a better way. So my best wishes to the members, and do well. And definitely the future is for engineers, and engineers definitely have to make sure that this world works in a very, very sustained way, and everybody gets equal opportunity in whatever the spirit is there. Towards that, I think we are destined to make the world better. And then what and when we entered World War, rather than, I think when we are leaving, we should leave this world better than what we entered. And with that motto, I think ISIS2, I think is doing reasonably well. Once again, my congratulations and best wishes for what you have done until now and what you are going to do in the years to come. Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time and insight. We are indeed happy to have you here this evening. Over to you, Bharati.
Thank you, sister. So we'd like to request to accept our e-momentum. Thank you so much for joining with us, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, moving on next, let not the winged days be spent in vain. When once gone, no gold can buy them back. With words from Dr. Abdul Kalam, I would like to welcome Bozana Pasik Dunka. Ms. Bozana Bam is actively involved in IEEE CSS and currently serves as a Deputy Chair of IEEE CSS Technical Committee on the Control Education. She is a Professor of Mathematics from the University of Kansas. Her research interests are primarily in systems and adaptive controls, system identification and estimation, and control education, as this field spins science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education together. Ma'am is an IFAC Fellow and an IEEE Fellow, and distinguished member of CSS and a recipient of IEEE 3rd Million Medal. We are really happy to have you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. And I welcome everyone from the heart of the United States, from University of Kansas. And speaking about learning, I already listened to those distinguished speakers today, and I learned so much that I will, and I'm inspired that I will adapt and I will change. Adaptation is my specialty. But today is special day, is inauguration of this competition, which I became a huge fan since 2016. I came as representative of IEEE Women in Engineering, and I had privilege to attend that competition in person. And I have to tell you, it makes huge difference. I saw excitement, passion, and unbelievable skills of young people, including students from high school or even, I don't know, even early. And I listened to them. I had privilege to be judged. So today at 3:30 a.m., when I listened to presentation in We Power Truck, and when I listened to questions from the world leaders in science and engineering, I just simply think that it's such incredible privilege for every participant, particularly for me, because 2016 changed the way how I started teaching. I teach mathematics to all fields, all professions, future engineers, future economists, and all scientists. And traditionally, as you know, you teach mathematics, definition, theorems, proofs and proofs. And that particular competition changed my vision. I was the first one at my department who switched totally to different role. Students became leaders in this teaching and learning. Students became, giving ideas, providing feedbacks. I bring my students, I have over 60 or maybe 70 students, all of them except one chose industry. Why? Because they can be creative, they report. But I bring them to the classroom now as guest speakers, and they inspire, they motivate students, and they say what is important today, what will be important in the next 5-10 years. And you've heard today about IEEE. I learn from my colleagues, multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary research is my passion. You come out of the box and you join other professions. So we've heard today about communication. Communication is extremely important because you have to know how to communicate with medical doctors, how to listen to them, how to convince them that your method, your algorithm, your tools will be working well and will be accepted by doctors. And this multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary research and learning and teaching takes you out of the box, gives you new perspectives, gives you new ideas and new tools. So I feel, although I've been a very long time educator and researcher, I feel every day younger and younger because there's so much to do. There is so much complexity of today's world is such that you cannot solve that problem by yourself. You have to have collaborators. For this reason, I created that tools. Most of the time you've seen on the picture of our speaker, hammers, trucks. My tools are curiosity, creativity, connections, communication, and collaboration. I call them C to the power 5. Every student loves finishing projects with collaboration. And today is the time for me to take opportunity to say big thank you for inspiration, for collaboration, for all this that I've said in my teaching and learning. I learned from the team of Professor Ramalata, who is absolutely a role model leader and who is, like I described another day, like conductor of the best orchestra. She just simply knows how to deal with so many gorgeous volunteers. And I had particularly privilege to work directly with Power Truck. Again, I give credit to IEEE for vision to be very inclusive, open the door for others like World Bank. They join us and we are able to work on absolutely terrific projects, and Priti and Ramnik are leaders in We Power. So I just simply, today is celebration, and today is also, I salute to presenters and to all who are involved, chairs, co-chairs, and pilots and mentors and judges. And I would speak forever because the list is long. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and inspiring me and making impact on University of Kansas students and on everyone around me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Kindly accept our e-momentum. Please accept our e-momentum, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, Ms. Pooja.
Thank you, Balaji. Now let's move on to the next. We have AIM Safiqul Islam, Joint Secretary of the Government of Bangladesh, Director, Finance and Admin in Bangladesh High-Tech Park Authority. Mr. Islam joined Bangladesh Civil Service over 30 years. Mr. Islam contributed to various posts under the government. In his current role of Bangladesh High-Tech Park Authority, Ms. Islam leads to the development of the society and for the country of high-tech park development process since 2007. He is playing a key role in innovation ecosystem development by establishing universities-based incubation and training centers development that housed over 100 local and global investors and 100 startups. At present, Ms. Islam is leading the country's first digital entrepreneurship and ecosystem development project that is going to align the government, academia, industry for sustainable and inclusion growth of the country. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Pooja.
Thank you, sir.
Professor Dr. Ramalata Mari Mathu, the organizing chair, Mr. Arabindan Deepak Mathur, Ms. Bojana Pasik Duncan, Ms. Shushan Cathyland, Ms. Mary Ellen Randall, and all other respected guests and present here digitally. A very good evening to all. Thank you to Mr. Mailasami Anna Durai for wonderful presentation. And he covered all the goals of the SDG and not only the space-related issue. It is my great honor and privilege to be here in this very, very important event and the inaugural session of a novel initiative to make the world better one. Actually, our senior secretary, the NM Ziaul Alam, was eager to present in this event, but unfortunately, he is traveling and not in a position to be connected. And I want to share some initiative that what we are doing in Bangladesh. And I could say that Bangladesh has remarkable achievement in case of the target of the MDG. And now we are working to achieve the objective of the Sustainable Development Goals. Our success in social sector is very good, and we are working to achieve all other indicators. Our Honorable Prime Minister has been forwarded our intention toward the SDG clearly and set up the target to bring all the ranking related to innovation below 50, most of which are at this moment currently around the 100. One of the things then government has taken, we know our position, and so government has taken various programs to promote innovation in Bangladesh. Each of every ministry has own program. From ICT division, we are implementing one project that is supporting startup by seed money as venture capital. As venture capital environment is not flourish here. Government has formed a company, Startup Bangladesh, for providing support at seed and growth stage. Bangladesh High-Tech Park Authority, our main objective is to create the environment, the congenial environment, investment environment for the investor. But side by side, we are also creating facilities for grow up our startup and innovation ecosystem in our country. Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority uh, is providing space each and every high tech park and software technology park for the startup. And we are establishing university-based incubation center, and we are going to create the incubation center in all 64 districts. We are also going to innovation hub in universities, both in public and private, and we are also supporting our youngs to be innovative in various ways. By using the demographic dividend, we are driving our transformation of our digital Bangladesh to reach our target in the time, and we are determined to build a self-sustainable digital Bangladesh, but not a self-centric one. We believe in the power of cooperation, and Bozena ma'am already said about the power of C and partnership. Let us work together to build a better world for our future generation. Our intention is to make sure a sustainable government, industry, and academia collaboration, and to promote the innovation and entrepreneurial culture in Bangladesh. Over the past few years, Bangladesh has achieved phenomenal growth in startup. This startup will serve as a foundation for far-reaching consequences of our GDP's overall growth. And I'm confident that this program will also help them to be more courageous, interested, and to work in this area. At this point, I would like to share my heartiest gratitude to Professor Ramalata, Dr. Mathur, and who working with SS12 program, and Tasneem Binte Shaukat, who is a co-chair in Bangladesh, and I see track for coming forward with the scope of collaboration. And from Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority, we are very happy to be the partner of this event and looking forward to other scope for collaboration in the field of innovation and entrepreneurship. Not only this program, we are eager to work with the IEEE in their upcoming program as well. While we are sharing the same interest toward the humanitarian technology-based innovation and solution, I am delighted to see more than 204 projects were on the undergraduate level, and 50 plus projects were from school and colleges from our countries, and 16 have been is going to be completed in in the next level. And we have a number of 16 notable presentations that we are happy to see them. See them with a good result in this competition, and we are happy. I'm concluding my best wishes to IEEE YESIST12-2021, and would like to thanks again for putting their good interest for inspiring the youth in humanitarian technology and focusing UN Sustainable Development Goal as well as. Our country is one of the most climate vulnerable and affected nation. Therefore, it is the imperative that we keep in mind and work toward finding innovation solution to fight against the such kind of challenges. I like to exert my heartiest thanks and gratitude to all the related persons, and I could say that dedicated person with IEEE and YESIT 12 program, and who is working for such kind of initiative. And also thanks and good wishes to all of the participants who are going to change to make a better world. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you.
Can you please share the screen? Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful words. Kindly accept our e-memento as token of appreciation from our IEEE YESIST12 team.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome, sir. Over to you, Bharati.
Thank you, Ms. Pooja. Only those who's willing to take risk go too far and possibly find out how far they can go. I take pride in welcoming Mr. Deepak Mathur, Director of IEEE Region 10. Mr. Deepak is a recipient of the prestigious IEEE Region 10 Outstanding Volunteer Award and IEEE MGA Achievement Award. Sir, being the former Chief General Manager of ONG India, has more than 35 years of professional experience in the field of electronics, telecommunication, IT, infrastructure, and has held various engineering and management positions. We are happy and proud to have you here, sir.
Thank you, Bharti, and thank you, Pooja. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You may continue.
IEEE President Kathy Lan, Dr. Ramlata, Dr. Anna Durai, Professor Saiful Islam, Professor Bozena Pasik Duncan, Mary Ellen Rendell, all distinguished guests, and my all IEEE colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, namaste to you all. And thank you all volunteers of SS12 for your dedication and commitment. You all make us proud at IEEE. Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure and honor to be in SS12 today. And thank you once again for giving me an opportunity to be part of this great event, which has such a noble objective. In our activities, in our conferences, I strongly feel that there is a need to have more focus on communities. And we need to do more projects for the benefit of the communities. And let us try to solve problems of communities using technology. SS12 is a great effort in that direction, creating a platform for students and young professionals to make them understand about the social responsibilities and motivate them to work for community is really a great idea. And it is really a good note to that. This model is very successful and producing great results. So it's really amazing. And today it is not only technology, but we also talk about ethics and technology. And ethics are being introduced even at design stage. Social implication of technology is gaining a lot of attention, and we are realizing that it is also very important aspect to be considered. And especially once we see such a pace in technological development and we come across excessive use and many times misuse of the technology. So in such scenario, SS12 is a great initiative and contributing immensely to provide a different perspective to our students and young professionals in the very start of their career. So Region 10 has also a special focus on community-based projects through its humanitarian technology activities. We have committee and subcommittee working to promote sustainable humanitarian projects in the countries of Region 10 by gainfully engaging our members and volunteers through our various programs and various activities. And our philosophy is to follow two-pronged approach, use existing technology and tailor-make wherever possible for the benefit of the underserved community. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. Many underserved people have not even been benefited from existing technology as basic as electricity. So the other approach we talk about, and which is the second prong, is develop sustainable technologies for underserved people and for the benefit of the community. So this year we have collaborated with IEEE HSE and doing real life projects focused on COVID-19. There was a huge response and we selected 26 projects from different sections and from different countries. All the projects are progressing well and likely to be completed by the end of this year. So we have also assigned an experienced IEEE volunteer as a mentor to each project. And we plan to select few projects and convert them to the product. This is what we are focusing this year, and this is going to be the special one once we complete this project. And I'm happy to see that the concept of SS12 is almost similar. So we need more such initiatives to make a difference in our society using technology. Technology could be a big enabler and could address most of the problems of the world, but we have to spread awareness. And most importantly, we have to provide an opportunity and a platform to work and to develop our more ingenious with such thoughts. So work done by SS12 is commendable and must be applauded. So congratulations team SS12 for achieving great success, and I wish all the best in all your future endeavors. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful words. Kindly accept our e-memento as a token of gratitude on behalf of IEEE YESIST12 team.
Thank you, Pooja, and thank you, team SS12. Thank you very much.
Sir, great to have you. With the immense of pride and pleasure, we request Dr. Deepak Mathur sir again to declare the beginning of IEEE YESIST12 of 2021. So declaration of IEEE YESIST12.
So it's my great pleasure and honor in declaring this SS12 open. Yeah.
Thank you so much once again, sir.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Now I will hand over the stage to Bharati. Over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Pooja. Coming to the end, I would like to quote a quote. தெய்வத்தான் ஆகாதனின் முயற்சி தன் மெய்வருத்த குழி தரும் குறள் 619. To put in simple words, even if the Almighty turns back, the efforts and hard work you put into will bring you great rewards. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my immense privilege and opportunity to share the vote of thanks to all the hearts who had made the miracles of SS12 possible. I'm truly grateful for the contribution of each and everyone, especially to all our esteemed speakers today. Heartfelt thanks to Mr. Mailsamy Annadurai sir, Madam Susan Cathy Lang, Madam Mary Ellen Radin, Mr. Deepak Mathur sir, Madam Bozana Pasigranka, and Mr. Ellen Zuel Allen for being there on this occasion and sharing their valuable experience and thoughts with our participants and volunteers today. I would like to extend my thanks to our own Madam Ramalata Marimuthu and Madam Nityavadi for sharing their remarks on this inauguration ceremony. They are the pillars of this initiative and a true driving force for all the volunteers in enabling the SS12 initiative successful yet another year. I'm indeed thankful to our volunteers, track leads, judges, and the huge community of IEEE 12 pillars who has been put in their wonderful efforts towards making this possible. They have stood for this IEEE's tagline of advancing technology for humanity and will be seeing the outcome in the fabulous colors throughout the final. We are also thankful to our participants who have turned in today. To witness this amazing inauguration ceremony, we look forward to seeing them in action during the next few days as a part of our finale. We send our best wishes to the participants and volunteers. Let's put together a wonderful finale. Many thanks once again. Thank you very much. The closing ceremony in 20th September 2021 from 6 p.m. onwards where results will be announced. And we're really looking forward to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Bharati. I request everyone to turn on your video so that let's capture a beautiful memory.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bharati and Pooja, for your wonderful moderation. It was really nice to note, and thank you so much to all the special guests and the dignitaries who have joined us in the inauguration ceremony, the grand opening of IEEE YESIST12 2021. Before taking the group, we would like to request Dr. Ramalata ma'am for sharing final remarks so that we can take a group pic which can be added into the scrapbook of IEEE YESIST12 in the history. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Ramnik. So I would like to thank every one of the guests today, participants, volunteers, and our partners who have been here cheering us, and also thank you, Deepak Mathur sir, for declaring it open. This is a great privilege for us to have you here as a guest to declare our ISS12 open. Thank you very much. And thank you, Sir Safiqul Islam, sir, for coming from Bangladesh and being a partner with us and joining hands with us. Thank you, Bozanna, for always you have been motivating every one of us, even at midnight, even at early morning. For you, and I have been torturing you for the past 5 years without giving you enough time to sleep, without giving you enough time to work on your projects also. But you have always borne with me. Thank you so much, Muzanna. And I would like to thank every one of the guests today, Katie, Mary, who accepted my invitation just even before 1 week before this inauguration. I called Mary and she accepted. And I would like to convey my special thanks to Dr. Mailsami Annadurai. Sir, it has been a great privilege to have you here, and we would like to have your presence always with us, even when we go for the next year. And for the next year, we are hoping that we will be able to do it physically, like what we did in 2018 and 19. 16 and 17 was in India, but 18 and 19 we had it in Sri Lanka and Thailand. Actually, 2019 should have been in, no, 2020 should have been in Malaysia. Unfortunately, we missed it because of the pandemic. And I'm hoping that at least next year, we will be able to do that. I'm sure every one of the participants are also excited about a physical YESIST12. I'm hoping and praying that we will have that opportunity for next year. Thank you so much. Let's all meet again for the closing ceremony also. So Ramnik, over to you. You can take the picture now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ramalata, for your insightful, I would say, remarks. It's always a blessing to have leaders like you. And thank you so much to all the participants who have made this moment a very memorable one. Now I would like to request, I would like to request Dr. Hussain Mahdi, sir, for sharing his remarks. Sir, over to you.
Thank you very much. I want to congratulate all the committee members for this amazing event. And today I woke up early at 6:30 to watch the presentation of our young generation project. Really, I feel so proud because I noticed there is a lot of amazing project, for 15 to 16 years old guys. And they are, I think they are the power of IEEE in the future. And I saw an amazing project like temperature monitoring system, e-health application using blockchain and artificial intelligence. And like what Mr. Deepak Mathur mentioned, we need to convert all this idea, all this project to prototype, and after a prototype, we can try to make it as a product. And we have this power, inshallah, in Region 10, and we will focus about convert all the good idea to a project to make impact in our local community. Thank you very much, and congratulations for everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. With that, I would like to request everyone to come on the camera so that we can include you in the history book of IEEE YESIST12. It's really a great moment, and we are looking forward to all your presentation ideas you're going to share in the evaluation rounds in the upcoming days. So with that, on the count of 3, 2, 1. That's the first screen. Let me go to the second screen. 1, 2, and 3. And yeah, that's all. Thank you very much for your presence, valuable presence and blessings with IEEE YESIST12. It's really, I would say, I don't have any words. Yeah, Ramlata ma'am.
One moment, Ramnik. Can we have Prashant Nair, sir, please, here Or
Yeah, sure. Let me make him.
Prashant Nair, sir, are you there?
Yeah, he's there. Let me make
Okay,
him
okay.
the
Can we
co-host.
have him say
Yeah.
a few words, please?
Yeah,
Prashant, sir,
thank you.
over to you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. My great mentor in IEEE, Deepak Mathur, sir, Ramlata, ma'am, the entire team, Naveen, sir, Pooja, the whole team. It's so great to be part of YESIST12 as a chair for promotion for the Junior Einstein track. I'm very excited about this event. And, I don't want to take much time. It's really the entire YESIST12 team rocks. That's all I want to say. Good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you are.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prashant Nair, sir. It's always great to have volunteers and leaders like you as well in our committee, and it's always great. Thank you very much to all the participants, all the guests for joining us in the grand opening of YESIS12. It's always that, like we say we can control the time, but we can't, because celebration actually jumps off the time zone, and that's what happened today. Sorry about that delay. Thank you very much. Please stay safe and be well. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
And an information to the participants once again, we will announce the result in the closing ceremony, which will be happening on 20th evening on 6:15 p.m. IST. Thank you. Stay